Biggest Dow drop in history, point value wise, 2,000 points. We are looking at the portfolios to see what happened. And actually in the stock index portfolio 19, it was up on the day with Cobra 3 coming in here, taking some good trades. And so plus 2,900 on Cobra 3 E-mini S&P and Cobra 3 E-mini NASDAQ plus 38.55 per contract. The 19 system stock index portfolio trades 2 contracts of Cobra 3. And then on Tick Pulse E-mini S&P V12, it also trades 2 contracts of this. So minus 1875 times 2, and this is 38.55 times 2. And then adaptive moving average minus 1537.50. 60-minute breakout minus 27.50 on the day. That was this is a harsh strategy for us lately because we've got these counter trend rallies. There's all the buy the dippers and this desire to prop the markets up, and they don't follow through. They just pop it up and then drop it. And you see this on last Friday, our shorts lost, and then we got long, and then we got this gap down last night, and then execution was difficult on top of that. So with perfect execution, this was minus 27.50 on this trade, and so really rough trade. Really feeling the pain on that one actually. Mirror minus 925. So some of you asked me, should you trade today? And when in doubt, I'm going to say no. Don't trade if you're in doubt, especially not the open. When you see we had a limit move at night, then we had a limit move at the open, then we had another limit move here, and I'm not sure why it's plotting like this. The first limit move was shown by dots, and then the market dropped. You see the time is 8:36 a.m. Central Time. Then the market drops, and you see the low there. It doesn't continue to show the dots, even though there's a 14 minutes between those. So 2 limit moves at the open. Don't ever remember seeing that. We had limit moves, but this is it's difficult to trade markets that have done things they've never done with daily dollar ranges and double limit moves at the open, and so just not in sync with that. But despite all that, this portfolio, the 19 system stock index portfolio, was actually up on the day with Cobra 3 coming in. So when you see these huge gap moves, maybe I need to rework the strategies to consider that scenario. It's going to take me some time to do that, but in the short term, when you see these big gap opens, I would just maybe turn off automation and let the market settle, and then turn automation back on. If you want to trade, if VIX is high, maybe not trade if it's too high for you. It does require some emotional capital as well as trading capital to trade, and so if these are too much for you, you have to have a strong mind to trade this kind of market. And this is the kind of these are results on the stock index 19 portfolio. When you think Cobra 3 trades 2 contracts and Tick Pulse V12 trades 2 contracts today, the results are plus 1647.50. So the other portfolio, the 18 system or the 38 system portfolio, does not trade 2 contracts. We're going to take that 2 out, and we'll see the results for that. It was down on the day. It did not have its worst day though, and it's not at a worst case drawdown on that. So let's look at that. These are within the tolerances that we've seen in the financial crisis, and these are the higher average daily dollar ranges than we've ever had, but these drawdowns are still normal. It's still tricky to trade because the stop losses of $600 are so close. And so these are the results on the 38 system portfolio. It trades 1 contract of everything in this workspace, and in workspace 2 it trades 1 contract. And so minus 2,500 on Tick Pulse NQ V12, AT 2020 minus 725. Here's another one that just is hurting at the open. 60-minute breakout NQ just really did terrible on the open last night, and then took another trade and got stopped out minus 42.35. And so these are within previous historical worst case days. Tick count trend NQ minus 1345, QS3 minus 740. And we see here here are the results when you highlight these two, minus 98.77.50. And the worst day for this portfolio is 13,807.50 is the worst losing day for the stock index portfolio with 38 strategies. And this day was down. This day we're down almost 10,000. So it's not the worst day. And with these results, we're only halfway into a worst case drawdown. So the worst case drawdown for 38 strategies is 43,300, and this will put us down about 20,000. So it's within tolerance if you're trading the stock index portfolio too. And so with all amidst all the frustrations of this market, amidst all the challenges of the volatility, the portfolio has done this before. It's been at these drawdown levels. So you have to have a strong mind once again to trade this market. So other markets traded. Cobra Euro minus 625. Gold Flash has done terrible lately. We sent out an email to the subscribers of this to only trade no more than 3 trades per day. Set the input to say use max daily entries to true, and then set 3 max daily entries. If that would have happened, it would have been down, I believe 975 was the first 3 trades. It was minus 975. Let me take a look here. Let's scroll back and see where we were after 3 trades after the open last night. So going back here to this open right here, you had 1, 2, 3 trades. You see it's minus 975 after the 3rd trade. So it would have been minus 975 instead of minus 1875 on Gold Flash. The opposite of Gold Flash would have done great. Not sure why gold is having such a tough time rallying. And gold, Asia Gold 4 short actually was up 450 on the day with 2 trades. Soybean swing minus 425. We have All Strategy Access 4. Cobra Gold minus 625. There's 1 trade there. All Strategy Access 5. 1 trade here minus 555. SR Countertrend 2. Natural gas. So these are the results. These are all the results on the day. So if you highlight 1 contract of all these strategies, you're at minus 13, 532.50 for all the strategies. So that is those are the trades on the day. If you're trading all the strategies, you're trading at least a $250,000 account. So 13 over 250, it's down about 5.2% on the day. Dow's down 7.79% for comparison. Biggest Dow loss on the day. So volatility is tricky, and these markets are strange. We look at the bonds. Let's look at the bonds here. 184. Let's look at the daily chart. I mean, that you see the high is 191, the low is 180. 11 handle range. These are almost fictitious. These almost look fictitious to see these type of markets do this. I heard there was no offer at one point on the 30-year. And so crude oil, seeing crude oil down in the 20s was interesting. Here's a weekly chart of crude oil. So it's very, very interesting to see these prices. And, you know, we expected these pullbacks in stocks for a while. So very interesting price action today. One thing you can do if you want to cut back on volatility is to just trade this stock index portfolio 1. Just trade this first workspace and don't trade the overnight strategies. You could just stop trading and wait for the VIX to drop to 25 or 30, or you could trade this workspace. That's the second thing you could do. You could trade the strategies in this workspace minus the overnight strategies. The overnight strategies are 60-minute breakout. There is stock index swing. There is night trader. And I believe that's all. Let me double check. So those 3 strategies, these are the 3 strategies in this workspace that could hold positions overnight. Stock index swing, a 60-minute breakout ES, and night trader E-mini S&P. So if you want to cut back on overnight risk, just trade the 15 strategies in here. If you want to trade, if you want to cut back and just trade infinity strategies are the strategies that have a stop loss and let it run to the end of the day. Cobra 3 NQ, Cobra 3 ES. You know, the SR Countertrends have done pretty good in this market environment. You could trade those as well. If you want to eliminate strategies that trade at the open, that'd be the AT strategies. If you're worried about big gap moves at the open and don't want to get chopped up at the open after a big gap, AT 2020, AT 20 short only, Mirror, Gap Fill Master, all trade at the open. Take count trend too. 1 minute and 5 minute won't trade with the VIX this high. It won't trade right now. Gap continuation is another infinity strategy. It did not trade today. It can take a trade and it can put a trade on and put a stop loss in and let it run until 2:30 Central. And so the infinity strategies really that you might want to consider are if you're really cutting back beyond the 15 systems in this workspace that are day trade only, is Cobra 3 ES, Cobra 3 NQ, Gap continuation 2020. And then, pick a couple of the SR counter trends. And then in this workspace, if you want to trade the infinity strategies in this workspace, this is for the all strategy access subscribers or stock index portfolio subscribers, or a tick pullback NQ. And so this strategy had a huge trade last week, plus 4,300 on that. And you could set the max daily entry to 1 on those. Tick pullback ES, huge trade last week. And so these will be long only strategies. So if you did that, it would be long only strategy. So on an uptrend, you could potentially catch a rally. Turnaround Tuesday could be tomorrow. I don't know. Let's see. This was last Wednesday. So last week it was a turnaround, kind of a Wednesday with that smooth rally, and we've had 3 volatile days since. So another reason that it's so choppy is because there's not much of a trend during the day. You get a move up, move back, move all the way down near the lows, move up, move all the way down near the lows. So all this choppiness at the end of the day or during the market is making it difficult to trade trend strategies with such high ranges, because even if you get the trade right, the bounce backs of 50 ES points are $1,000, and that's beyond most stop losses. So that makes it very, very challenging. So you want to pick a strategy that can let it run to the end of the day, get on the right side of the trade, use a reasonable stop loss, use max daily entries of 1 if you want to cut back. So these are just some suggestions. These are the portfolio results today. I'm comfortable with where we are in the portfolio as far as what it's done in the past. But I am looking for some adjustments. And so if the VIX is too high for you, if the volatility is too high, you can sit on the sidelines or use some of the recommendations that I made to cut back. And so that's where we are. That's the portfolio results on the day, March the 9th.